Hello fellas! So, there's a disease spreading across DBD. Fast Track, Specialist, Stranger Things, Genrush Slop, Hyperfocus, Stakeout, 1, 2, 3, 4 and Bardic, Prove Thyself, and I could go on. Genrush Slop is plaguing my solo queue lobbies, and in my opinion, that is just really boring. It's turning every DBD match from a casual playthrough into a speedrun, and that's just sad. But today we're running a Genrush build of our own.
It was said that you would destroy this and not join them!
Relax, my Genrush build is actually funny, because of how awful it is. The first perk we're using today is No Mither. Now, stay with me here, it will make sense. And the next perk is gonna be Hyperfocus. If you're expecting Stakeout to be next, you obviously didn't listen close enough. It is not happening. Literally, that's the name of the next perk. And finally, Resilience, so everything we do is 9% faster. That's the build.
Oh my god, bro. Hell no, man.
It is obviously awful, but the funniest part about it is that it actually works, somehow. Don't forget to feed the YouTube algorithm your like and comment, and without further ado, let's run the worst Genrush build possible and learn more creative death threats from my teammates in post-game chat. Yippee! First act of today's circus performance takes place at Mount Ormond Resort. We already have a couple clowns, but something's missing. The circus dog with very interesting tricks up his sleeve jumps into the picture and makes me drop the gen alongside my heart, dropping straight into my asshole. Apparently, Renato has the juiciest meat in town though, because the rabies dispenser decides to go after him instead of the injured bozo, so I get to sit comfortably on my freshly hardened ass and do the generator, as it is what we came here to do after all. While Renato is busy contracting both rabies and tetanus, I am finishing the first gen and zooming towards the next one that was convenient heated up for me, getting a streak of whopping 2 skill checks in a row. I finish this one and fly towards the next with fair wind on my side, then immediately recalculating my route and positioning neatly on the main building gen. Even there I don't get any peace though, so we have to feed Ace to the beast as a sacrifice, may his soul be damned to eternal suffering. Shack becomes my cozy corner where I can finally be unbothered and hyper-focus on hitting my skill checks. This time getting a whopping 5 stacks. I immediately lose them, but generational aura loss aside, I finish the gen, not without Renato's valuable help, and sign my final will letter as the unexpected guest joins us. Though it was too early for the final wills as I somehow survive. God damn it, Mike, I want my drawing tablet back. The dog is showing off something that truly does look like circus tricks, and for a beautiful performance, the good boy gets his treat in form of Renato's half-dead body. As the puppy is taking his final bows in front of Sable, I get Renato off the hook, where he probably already got the whole bouquet of AIDS from, and pat him on the back telling him it's gonna be okay and it's not a death sentence, knowing damn right I'm lying to his face. Adamant on giving me rabies too, Rufus sneaks up on me once again, but my loyal escorts take the blow for me, and the freedom is 2 steps away, but Ace heroically falls down. May his soul fly high and free this time. And here comes the final twist of this match. The dog was never a rabbit and is actually a very sweet, good puppy. Giving the good boy his well-deserved treats and head pats, as well as the $2 for his impeccable acting at Shack, we run off into the sunset, concluding our first match for today. Second match downgrades us from resort to lake mine, which is probably the game's way of telling me to get a job, and this time I decide to completely lock in and focus on the skill checks so I don't... After being a witness to the first 2 humans that managed to communicate telepathically, the agreement that they seemingly came to did not play in our favor. The best thing about No Mither is pranking people so they try to heal you out. Or should I say was, in 2017.
Now come heal me. Let's see if she falls for this No Mither prank, you know? Classic prank. XD.
But I guess Sable is still living in those happy years, in which case I am very envious of her. Here, I am pretending to be a pile of snow, from which I did not go too far in intellectual properties, and kind Wraith decides to help me with my camouflage by bringing me closer to the ground. After I'm done eating all the lemonade-flavored snow off the floor, I get back on the gen, but Wraith comes... walks back to me, and we get our first and last encounter vaguely resembling Chase. Acting like this window is bamboozled for reasons unknown even to me, I am once again positioned perfectly to eat snowy delights off the floor, but I think Wraith wants to save the chocolate ice cream for himself and pulls me away from it. What a jerk. Next. Okay, do you really want to see me doing gens? I mean, it feels kinda wrong to put in footage of me doing gens, even in a video about doing gens. Okay, here I am, doing a gen. Still missing my great skill checks, even though the build value depends solely on me hitting those. Sable helped me for a little bit here, but I'd say her assistance was negligible and I finished that gen within a minute. Selling the game for a haha funny moment is perfectly in character for me, so here I'm finally falling over from my stage 4 frostbite and my teammate's fate remains unknown. I don't want to show the entirety of the following game because it was kinda boring. I'll just show how these knights with pretty haircuts are trying to save my worthless case from the inevitable. Thanks ladies, I felt really cared about in those moments. But the inevitable is called the inevitable for the reason that it is inevitable, so I ascend to the higher state of consciousness, or rather to this state of permanent unconsciousness, and we jump into the next match. As I was going about my usual business of missing great skill checks, my spidey senses started tingling and caused me to get off the gen mere moments before Vecna was going to lodge his tentacles into inappropriate places. Mr. What's-His-Nuts was set on stealing my anal virginity and unfortunately succeeded, but only once doesn't count, or as my fellow Russians would say,
В жопу раз, не пидорас.
And after failing to hit me with a fast second, he turns into a puddle of his own tears and scares away to perform more poop hole loopholes. I was having a quiet, peaceful gen Russian session, but all my teammates' holes are still intact, which means our tentacled friend is coming back for round 2. Oh crap, the second time happened. I guess that makes me a fag now. Oh no, that's so crazy. Anyways, after a second there's a third, and now we're moving on to choking. Whoa, slow down there, Mr. Vecnussy. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I can't stop making gross jokes today. Maybe that's a sign of my puberty finally kicking in. I don't know. Asen hooks me, and on his gen I get the chance to go inside him. Nope, that's not what I meant. Inside his mirrored illusion. I meant the illusion, okay? My favorite corner gen has suffered serious regression, just like my IQ points, but this time surely I'll get to finish it without any freaky interruptions. Yeah, there is no catch here, I finished it quite peacefully. As soon as the gates are powered, I'm opening them and getting ready to dip the hell out of here, but either because of my deep sense of altruism or because of how scary the subway prices are these days, I decide to stay in and help my team escape. Though I can't really help much in my condition, so I'm acting as a beacon shining light to where the slug should crawl. And also listening to music. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Oh, hey, Michaela. How long exactly have you been standing here? Ace decided to treat himself to one of the many soju bottles scattered around the map, or maybe all of them, and pricelessly passed out in the alleyway. That was a D&D reference. Did you catch that? No? Okay. I sober him up, then we heal out Michaela, and I decide that I've done all I could, and at this point, Slug not crawling to the gate is their own choice that I cannot do anything about. But going back to spectate, I see this. I have no clue how this happened, but GG's I guess. Following game on Macmillan's begins on a very promising note. And to add to my pain, the burb woman keeps shooing me away from the gens, but finally finding place where her birds won't reach me, I can focus on the skill checks. And unbelievable, for the first time today I actually maxed out my hyperfocus stacks. Beginning the work on this gen at 235 and finishing at 350, I save a whopping 15 seconds as opposed to doing this gen perkless. I used that saved time to open a chest. Haha, very funny game. Getting on the next gen, I continue actually hitting my skill checks, but a certain redhead proves the theory of Meg secretly being a killer as she brings artists straight to me, so I have to drop everything and run across the whole map for the unhook instead. Edward Inkheads is done with Megatron and now wants to turn me into the canvas for her next piece. I offer her a palette that in my opinion would be more suitable for that purpose, but she doesn't agree with me and tells me to
Bird up.
As I'm taking up the hook, we have one gen remaining, and I am desperately trying to make it to the one that was practically done, but everyone on my team wanted to showcase it to Carmina. Here, I was hoping Meg would get away from the hook so I could get Sable down, and as I'm about to move in, Meg pulls a Meg, and after Sable pushes second stage, Meg does even more Meg things, which I asked for a reason behind in post-game chat, but got IDK cause I can as an answer. Honestly, fairs. While I'm having my nappy time on hook, the ladies are done with that final gen, but Sable is paying for it with her life, thanks to a certain someone, don't wanna point any fingers. In endgame situations I really cannot contribute much, plus I was wholly unimpressed with my teammates after this match, so I dip without any remorse for it. And when I spectate, we see this happening. They can't keep getting away with this! For Quentin replacing Soma in the following matches, you can blame this guy, because I couldn't resist the urge to join in when I saw another Quentin player in the wild. Meanwhile, the first generator pops within 45 seconds of the match starting, and 11 didn't even have any Genrush perks, only a green toolbox. So it's safe to say that fast repair speed is my merit. It's finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. I hit my skill check too early. V bitch slapped me for that, rightfully so, and it put my brains back into place as I hit both great skill checks I needed to finish our second gen. See how fast I'm healing L here? This build is not only for gens. Look how fast this totem is going. This build is so versatile, y'all should use it for reals. Even the gate is opened 9% faster, and after 6 minutes 15 seconds the gates of Freedom City are ready to swing open, totally because of my ultimate Genrush build and not because Vecna doesn't know when to drop chase. Quentin looks like he had Taco Bell for breakfast. And indeed, I immediately begin running around maniacally as if I'm about to shit myself. Obviously, we're in a hurry here, so I begin work on the main build in gen ASAP, but this troglodyte has nothing better to do than to harass a poor guy with a tummy ache. What I certainly didn't expect though is him using coup de grace at 5 gens. It seems like this trapper is a Taco Bell worker and is playing from their public Wi-Fi, so it is no longer an ordinary DBD match, but a quest for revenge. Rushing those gens like my honor depended on it, which it did. We get a pretty decent amount of progress before Trapper catches a portion of meat for his next burrito. At Shack I got a crippling suspicion that he just set a trap under the window, so I decided not to risk it and just leave towards some filler pallets instead. This was a pretty dangerous feint from my side considering our friend's ping, and in the next pallet, I can't even tell if it was a genuine skill issue or another instance of the public Wi-Fi gambit. Did you ever get the feeling that something horrible is about to happen, and you are completely powerless to change it, so you're forced to sit there and watch as it comes true, unable to do anything? Ellen is donating an arm and a leg to the Taco Tuesday fund, but my god timer is running out, so I don't even bother to take her off and get on our final gen instead. Lori falls only when the gates are powered, and explaining to Meg that I need to cut the line and it is very urgent, she agrees to let me go first, and I get out of the match, my jeans still clean and my honor protected. Same goes for all my teammates. GG. Okay, I've shown you plenty of successful games, now it's time to get real and show you one where everything that could possibly go wrong did. Wow, I got 4 hyper-focus stacks. This gen is flying. Life is good. I just really hope there isn't pain. And it only went downhill from here. As soon as I get to continue my minimum wage work, Quan decides to be a gentleman and offer Rin another pain res, and she isn't dumb, so instead of letting me claim my overwork and pay increase, she sends me on a mandatory break. At least I got to scam her and for now will remain alive. More or less. When I said everything went wrong, I meant it. From teammates falling down exactly as DMS ends, to me deciding to walk straight into the killer's face, to Rin happening to enter the room as soon as I decide to stop shifting for 1 millisecond, to her deciding to harass me instead of Adam, who was working on a very hot gen. At least here I get to very nonchalantly avoid her, but when I thought she was phasing to leave, she suddenly stopped after a second and came back. I can only assume she smelt me there or something. One good thing about this match is a legendary hatch escape for Adam. Very happy for him, but I still wanna die, so it is time to stop running this build and get some fresh air. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. I was very sick while voicing this video, but not sick when I was writing this psycho scenario. But anyways, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, yeah, and have a great day! As I'm about to move in, Megs pulls a I mean, it feels kinda wrong to put in footage of me doing gens, even in a video. Did I just fucking say video? While I'm having my nappy time on her. And after Sable pushes second stage, Meg does even more Meg things, which I asked reason in